Hi, my name is Inky, and welcome back to the series where I draw all of my D&D character reference sheets for Artfight 2025. If you don't know, previous years had me doing just a sketch of the character for a reference image. I'm hoping to change that, I'm hoping to improve that, I'm hoping to do turnarounds for my characters, fully shaded, and as I do, I just tell you a little bit about them. My friends and I play on a homebrew setting. For those of you that don't know, homebrew just means we made it up. We're not using any of the, quote-unquote official, quote-unquote real D&D settings. But yeah, this is my character Alice. She is a druid by class and a gardener by trade. She is from the Kingdom of Cyril. That's same kingdom Beatrice is from, same kingdom Narn traveled through. They both got videos. Technically, she's from the Feywild, is the thing. But she's from Cyril, really. We do a lot of folklore-inspired fae stuff, and that includes changeling babies. Not changeling like the D&D race, though we also have that, but changeling as in some fae trickster thought it would be really funny to take a human baby and then change that out for a Feywild baby. Alice is an Eldrin elf. She is from the Feywild. She's not a fae. She's fae adjacent. But, someone thought it'd be really funny to take a baby and put her in their place and then take the baby for themselves. That baby is also a character I have. This is them. They don't have a name. It's a whole thing. We'll get to that when we get to them. Alice, funnily enough, works for the noble house of the Fae. No relation to the Feywild. Just the name of the house. I don't know. Ask my DM. He watches these. Hi. But she works for them because the woman who's been raising her, her adopted mother, if you will, works for the House of the Fae as staff. And Alice is just a silly little lady. She's just grown up there, and she's got an affinity for plants and magic. Because the kingdom is constantly cold, she's got a whole thing of, her powers are kind of coveted because she can make plants grow pretty much anywhere. And that's really appreciated. So the House of the Fae has these really, really lush gardens because Alice works for them as their gardener. She's also, besties with the Lord of the House, who's this little silly twink in his mid-20s. Alice is in her early 30s. She's 5 years his senior. They grew up together. They're very silly, and they are friends. They're both whimsical together, but unhinged whimsical. He's definitely autistic, and Alice is definitely an extraplanar being, and they kind of match each other's weird in that way. They're also peak man-loving man and woman-loving woman solidarity. He's gay. She's a lesbian. You can see why they would get along, right? Alice is also closeted, but he knows. Everybody kind of knows she's dating one of the guards, but she doesn't want to admit it. She's just no, I don't know what you're talking about. Everybody knows. She ends up coming out. It's fine. The Lord of the House, in turn, isn't dating his jester, but he would like to date his jester, and his jester would like to date him. They end up getting together too, by the way. At the end of the one-shot, it's a thing. So peak MLM WLW solidarity is the point. The whole thing about the one-shot is that there's... Okay. In the Norn video, I mentioned that Cyril partially runs on the power of the corpse of a dead goddess. Yeah, we're circling back to that. Here's the card for the Norn video, by the way. Go watch that later. But TLDR, Cyril has a dead goddess somewhere in the ground. And her blood, flows out, and it creates the ley lines of the country. And the ley lines have magic, and the magic has energy. And the city that Alice lives in, it's called Sengenstaya. They harness the power of the ley lines in, this big refinery thing. It's called the Inkwell. And they use it to power up the entire city industry. And, they have, light switches. They're, light spells, but you trigger them by flicking a switch. And they're powered on the inkwell, so you don't need to be a caster to have light in your house. And you don't need torches. You just get, essentially, magic electricity. The point is that the inkwell is, going wacky. It's, misbehaving. It's, ooh, something's happening in the inkwell, and we need someone to investigate. And the Lord of the House is okay, yeah, no, we gotta do something about this. So he's any adventurers would like to go? Please. Nobody wants to go. He's okay, fine. Then I might have to send the guards to check it out. And Alice is no, because that's her girlfriend that would be at risk if that happened. And Lark, who is Alice's party mate for the one-shot. I do have a picture of Lark somewhere. Here's a picture of Lark. Lark, who is Alice's party mate for the one-shot, just wants to go to impress the Lord of the House. Lark is the jester. Lark wants to impress the lord of the house. Alice wants to keep her girlfriend from having to go on this treacherous mission, so she's going herself. When we were making our characters for the one-shot, the DM said, like, as a joke, I encourage you to make your characters gay. And both of us looked at each other and went, all right, bet. So we have a lesbian who wants to keep her girlfriend safe, and a he-they who wants to impress the Lord because he thinks the Lord is cute, and he wants to go on a date with him. Alice and Lark are both, like, bizarro, but they are very beloved and respected members of the house. Alice has negative charisma, and it's because she's got this, like, uncanny, big, bug-eyed, like, freak of nature energy to her. I don't mean that derogatorily. I just mean that, like, she looks at you and she's staring through your soul. She's got, like, that Feywild weirdo energy. So she's a little off-putting to some of the members of staff, but everybody respects her because she does her job well. They just kind of like, oh, that's Alice. Yep, that's Alice for you. There's a point after the events of the one-shot that the actual, like, long, full 2-year campaign with Narn happens, and they discover that there's a traitor in the House of the Fae that's serving the cult I mentioned in that video. I don't have time to get into the cult. There's just, like, an evil person somewhere in the house, and Narn and Raz, who's Narn's party mate, figure it out, and they solve that, but obviously there's a question of, like, oh, what if there's more? And the reason we gave canonically for, like, oh, it's fine, it's because Alice is a wisdom caster, right? Because she's a druid, and Lark the jester is a charisma caster because they are a bard. So the canon explanation for why that got squared away after the party for the campaign left is because Alice just can kind of stare into your fucking soul. She's just like, yeah, you don't got good vibes. And then Lark, having the charisma, actually, it's like, does intimidation. But, like, they're still a jester. They're still wearing, like, the jangly bells. They're just scary. Jangly bells scary. And so they squared that away. They did, like, an interrogation duo with the gardener and the jester, and it somehow worked. I fucking love them. Alice is a deeply, deeply unserious character. But that's what makes her fun. That's what makes her a dear. Here's her design. She's got 3 headshots right there to the side because, if you don't know, Eldrin elves in D&D, they're, like, season-themed. They get, like, 4 forms according to each of the seasons. They don't actually change with the seasons. You can change them at will. It's like a gameplay feature. Alice's main one that she's mostly in is Spring. It's the one she's got on the main reference. But she's got the other ones just in case she ever needs them. That's what they look like. She's got little flowers growing out of her head, by the way. The flowers are part of her. And they wilt in the fall. And they change color for the other seasons. They go away for the winter form. And she grows little mushrooms on her head for the fall form. She's very cute. I love her. Obligatory, like, subscribe, comment, do the thing, engage, and I don't know, if you want a reference like this one, I have a coffee, I take them, I take commissions for these. If you want just, like, a drawing of your character, I also take commissions for that. If you like that little chibi of Lark, also take commissions for that. I take commissions for pretty much everything. Hit me up, or leave me a tip, I don't know. Goodbye.